from Edmonton Sports Talk. He's been on the program before. It's been a while. And TSN play-by-play, the CFL games. Dustin Nielson is with us today, and he's a busy guy. You are I'm watching your feed, your social feeds, man. Now you got a Mexico cruise. I might have to hop in that, to be honest with you. I've always wanted to do a cruise. I've never done a cruise.
It's gonna be an amazing time. It's actually just, we're not cruising. It's through Expedia Cruises. We're just going to Mexico for 7 days.
Oh, okay.
And it was funny because we announced it on our show this morning, and while we were announcing it, the girl who was announcing it, we could hear her phone buzzing. Like people were calling to book the trip. It's going to be awesome. So yeah, I usually midwinter don't mind a little getaway. So this is going to be awesome.
If it sells out, then maybe we do a Sasky one and we kind of go together.
Merge together at Planet Hollywood, Cancun.
Just a bunch of flats of Pilsner somehow, some way, and we'll make it go. Hey, what was your take on it? Did it come as a surprise, Kadeem Carey signing with the Riders?
I mean, as soon as AJ Ouellette looked like he was hurt, I thought it's going to be automatic. And I'm pretty sure Kadeem Carey thought, if I'm patient enough, I'll probably have a job by week 2 or 3 in the Canadian Football League, with the way that this, not just this league, but football in general goes through running backs like crazy. So I'm sure, it's a good landing spot. Kadeem Carey, I think he's 32, but he's got a lot of game left still. And the moment you saw AJ Ouellette kind of look the way he did, I think most of us probably thought there'd at least be a phone call to Kadeem Carey. So I like the fit. Mind you, Bertrand Hudon did a pretty good job filling in that situation. Yeah. I was extremely impressed with the way that he was able to kind of pick up and keep going in what was a pretty impressive victory for the Riders in week 1.
Dustin, I think a lot of us tuned in last week expecting to hear you doing a West game, but all of a sudden you end up in Montreal doing the game there where there's no more air horns. Was that legit? I didn't hear any. I was like, Dustin's, first of all, he's out east, and there's no air horns for this Montreal game. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I guess I'll address. So in the last few years, I haven't gone west of Winnipeg, and we're trying to do some new things with the CFL broadcast this year. And one of those things is kind of getting all of our crews all across the country a little bit more. So I haven't been in Montreal for 3 years. The last time I was there, the air horns were there. And you know what? They don't need the air horns. I'll just say the atmosphere in that place was absolutely terrific. I like I said, I haven't been there in about 3 years. I used to go, I think the last time I was in Montreal was when our crew was still Cuthbert, Rod Black, and then me. And I would kind of just sort of fill in where those guys couldn't make it. So I was out to Montreal a few times then. But it was an incredible atmosphere on Friday night. I mean, it helps when your team did what they did, and you got the new quarterback in there taking over, Davis Alexander, now 5-0. They got some great weapons there too. But it was a really perfect Friday night in Montreal, unless of course you're an Argos fan. But I thought it was incredible. I think I'm back in Montreal once or twice more this season, so looking forward to that.
That's a good game. Where are you going this week?
I got 2 this week. I'm going to be in Winnipeg for their home opener on Thursday against the Lions, which should be a great game. And then I'm actually flying out to Hamilton to do the Ticats and the Riders with suits on Saturday.
Perfect. Going into the season, what was the most intriguing storyline for you? Was it the Elks, or was it the bounce back in BC? What was it for you?
I mean, here in Edmonton, obviously a lot of talk about the Elks. Didn't go over too well in week 1, so we'll see how that goes from there. I think that's a good question. I mean, the Nathan Rourke thing, could Nathan Rourke pick up where he left off a couple of years ago with a full off season? Certainly looked like he did, at least in the second half. I thought he was incredible in the second half. There's a lot of reasons to rip the Elks in that game, but I think sometimes you just got to tip your hat to Nathan Rourke and say they had a 103-yard touchdown drive in which 3 of the plays were him just sort of scrambling and making some magic. So that was pretty good. And then, I thought it was interesting with the quarterbacks that we have across the league right now. Vernon Adams, in Calgary, Trevor Harris, if he stays healthy, he's an MOP guy. Zach Collaros gets another deal. So how much is left in the tank with Zach as well? And then, out east with going to Davis Alexander, having MBT as the backup. Chad Kelly's not healthy. Drew Brown in his second year. Bo Levi still obviously putting up some big numbers. So I think the quarterbacks across the league and really the overall parity. Like, I don't think there's an easy game any week in the Canadian Football League. Like, I would be very surprised if you see any, just from a betting perspective, if you see any spreads over 7 games in the first 6-7 weeks of the season, I'll be stunned.
Hammer that. That's what Coach Mace just said.
Yeah, take the dogs, man, all the time. Like, we were talking about it today. Like this week, it probably wouldn't even be crazy to bet on all 4 underdogs this week to win on the money line.
Yeah, Monday.
Like, the road teams. Basically, we said the road teams because we're expecting most of them to be close to an underdog. But like, it's going to be a crazy season, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Saturday in BC, I thought Buck Pierce and Nathan Rourke looked to be on the same page. They're moving him around, and then they look good. Trey Ford at times looked dangerous until they kept him in the pocket and made him a passer. And then all of a sudden they made him look very pedestrian. Obviously, that's the knock on him. He can make the crazy video game plays, but if you make him a pure pocket passer, that's where sometimes it breaks down. Is that something Mark Killam and Jordan Maximic can correct over the next few weeks, or is this going to be like a season-long thing, in your opinion?
Man, for the sake of this city and the Elks fan base, I hope it's not a season-long thing. I said this morning on our show, like, Trey Ford can do things that no other quarterback is capable of doing with his athleticism. But he also can't do things in the pocket that pretty much every other starting quarterback can. So you need to get that level up with Trey. And if he can just get to reliable pocket passer when needed, it should all come together. But, we were talking around the office a little bit today, and when they kept in the pocket, offensive line wasn't great. I mean, they were missing Brett Boyko as a right tackle. Not to have too many excuses, but, either they need to – well, you know what they should probably do, guys? They should probably run the ball. Like last year, when they got things going, they were rushing the ball for 130, 140, 150, 100 a day. They had a couple 200-yard rushing games last year. In fact, I think Leak went off for over 200 against you guys. Did he? I'm pretty sure I called that game.
Yeah, thanks
so
for
they
that.
need to.
Yeah,
they ran the ball 10 times. Yeah, sorry about that. But they ran the ball 10 times. And it was a close enough game that you didn't have to abandon the run. So this team is not going to have success because of Trey Ford sitting in the pocket and slinging it. They're going to have success running the ball, playing defense, and then Trey needing to come up big when they need him to. So now they go on a bye, which isn't the end of the world in week 2, but then they get Montreal in week 3 at home. And Montreal is really good. So we'll see how that plays out.
Last question on the CFL and the Elks. Any, I guess, amplified buzz in the city? New owner, new season. Are you feeling it?
100%. Yeah, like 100%. We've had people text into our show and say, and we talk about the Elks a lot on Edmonton Sports Talk. We push them pretty heavily, which is, I think, more. I mean, obviously, you guys do that with the Riders, but I think more of the media markets across this league need to talk about their CFL teams significantly more. And we've been doing that a lot, and there's been a lot of buzz. But like, yeah, you know what? I like where we're going. Chris Morris is back. I've got season tickets this year. But the problem is that you get all this off-season buzz, and it's going to be good. And it's not like if they start poorly, they're going to fire everybody. They just hired everybody. But to build on this off-season momentum, you can't start 0-4, 0-5 or something like that, right? So, as patient as you want to be with everybody who's new, there's not a lot of room left for patience here. So, for the sake of the organization, picking up a couple of wins in the first month and a half of the year would go a long way.
And even if you're, tell people all the time, even if you're like not like a hardo CFL, just watch it and gamble on it, because gambling makes everything better.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I got into football in general 20 years ago. It's just, and you know what? And I would say this because I got 2 kids. They're 8 and 10. My kids go to football games. Yeah, they want to see the Elks win, or my son earmuffs everybody. He's been a Bombers fan for a few years. But they still just go and have a good time.
Yeah.
Kids just want to go and have a good time at a ball game. It doesn't matter. So, I mean, that's one thing that I think they need to continue to push. And I mean, the tailgate experience here at Edmonton is top notch right now. It's really fun. So that's a good time too.
Not so much here.
If Ed Hervey were to grade Edmonton Sports Talk, would he call Lieutenant Eric a superstar? Or is that just a non-starter right now? Okay.
No,
just need to know that before you move on from the
CFL. I think he has to. I think his superstar comments are probably reserved for the league. But we got a bunch of superstars at Edmonton Sports Talk, so hopefully he would.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know.
Dustin Nielson from Edmonton Sports Talk joining us, and of course from TSN, and he's calling 2 CFL games this week. Let's shift to hockey. Edmonton, we talked about it I don't ad nauseum on this show on how I was heavy Los Angeles. I was all after 2 games. I'm like, oh, am I going to win the Keniston Super Draft this year? And then now it's like embarrassing. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins game time decision. Hyman's out. I don't think that really matters. The way this team is just seem to be, they're tough to play against. Skinner's playing well. I guess in game 2 people can critique him a bit. But what's the buzz like there? And tickets are through the roof compared to last year.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you have to be loaded to go to an Oilers game in the Cup final. I don't know how. Like when I see people there with a family, I don't how do you pay for your kids? It doesn't make any sense. I took Marshall to awesome game 3 against Vegas. That first period was the fights but one of our clients gave me those tickets. Like I wasn't paying to sit lower bowl. It's impossible. So the buzz here is terrific. And you are right. Like I think going into this series, I picked them to win in 6. I said it'd probably be a split in Edmonton, probably be a split in Florida, come back in Edmonton and win game 5. And then Connor McDavid has another opportunity to win the Stanley Cup. And I just don't think that's something he's not going to finish this time around. So, but there's no shame in losing the Florida Panthers either. Like there's no shame in losing to the Panthers, and there'd be no shame in the Panthers losing to the Oilers. These 2 teams are both incredible. They were last year. They have been again in the playoffs so far. They missed Zach Hyman. I mean, everybody's going to miss a guy who was hitting literally everything that moves for the first 3 rounds of the playoffs. And if Nuge can't go tonight, they'll miss him. We did have on our noon hour show, the Oil Stream, because Ola did report that if Nuge can't go tonight, they're certain he's going to be able to go for game 4.
Okay.
So it's not like he's going to be out for the rest of the series. But they've had guys step up along the way, like some guys have scored some big goals for them. And then Connor McDavid is just a wizard with the puck. The goal he set up the other day for Draisaitl, going around Barkov and Ekblad, like it wasn't a 4th liner and a 3rd pair. That was ridiculous. So he's a man on a mission, and we'll see if Bobrovsky's able to deny him of that.
That was hard to believe. I tweeted it on the SportsCage. It's like it was like the adult safe game at 11 o'clock in D3, but it was 2 of the best players in the world, like that he went around. It was sorry, Maz.
I coach U11. I don't know if I could have pulled that off against 2 of my U11 kids.
Yeah.
And he's doing it against a guy who's won multiple Selkies and a defenseman who's going to get $9 million in the offseason. It's ridiculous.
So good.
If anything, I mean, the Oilers, I don't think have played anybody this physical since round 1 against the Kings. How do you think they're holding up against this physical Florida Panther team? Because both teams are hitting everything that moves, it seems.
Yeah, I think they're holding up pretty good so far. I mean, kind of give the Panthers their own medicine a little bit. Somebody did point out on our show this morning on a text message, it's like you can't get too carried away with their game, right? Like you can't get so physical that you're forgetting what you do well, which is move the puck and skate and do those types of things. But that's Sam Bennett, man.
I know.
I could see how he would suck in a lot of guys to maybe cross the line. He's been incredible so far in these playoffs. And, the Oilers haven't done a good job against him just yet. And we'll see if that continues tonight.
Okay, we got about a minute and a half. I got to ask you one thing because Maz and I talk about it all the time. And I forget it's YEG waiver. What's with the fighting? What's with the Oiler on Oiler crime and the people just throwing down in Edmonton on each other?
McDavid fighting.
Yeah, I've thought about this a lot. And I think what it is when people in their early 20s get drunk, they just want to fight people. Like it doesn't matter what
I thought that went away with the new generation. I thought that's more our generation.
I would argue that the new generation is a little soft. But alcohol is undefeated in these situations. So, I mean, I don't get it. I mean, I don't know
alcohol is undefeated.
Everybody's so happy. I don't know why you would punch somebody who's also cheering for your team. The only thing I can think of is you're a little inebriated and you're not thinking straight.
That's like, I get it. If you saw a dude in a Vegas jersey, maybe you saw a Panther, but it's Oiler on Oiler crime, and there's women involved, there's random fans, people are catching strays,
I could see
security guards are taking tumbles
because it's the Cup, right?
I can
Colson,
see it.
Can you cut together some fights with Dustin's because it's the cup audio underneath? Just do it.
With can we get Triumph playing in the background too? Lay it on the line.
Oh my God!
I'll bang out an AI song for it. That's what I'll do.
Dusty,
man.
thanks so much. I know you're busy. Love the show. Love what you're doing. Let's make this a regular thing every couple of weeks here.
Yeah, for sure, man. Just fire me a text. If I can make it work, we'll do it.
Right on.
And don't forget on Saturday to throw a little extra love this way in Hamilton. All right, Bo Levi plays pretty well against us historically, so whatever you can do to talk us up, we need it. Thanks.
We'll see what we can do for you.
Right on. Dustin Nielson, Edmonton Sports Talk. It's